wrong for feeling entitled to my dad's house? While your feelings may be valid, it doesn't invalidate the law. As a divorce attorney, let's talk about why this Redditor may be screwed. My husband and I, mid-20s, moved in with my father, mid-80s, nearly 2 years ago following my youngest sibling leaving home for college. My siblings and I all grew up in this house, and it's been in the family for 20 years. It is a large house on half an acre with one fully finished upstairs and a basement the same size with only our bedroom finished and the rest unfinished. So it sounds like a pretty decent house. I see why she wants it. When we moved in, we planned on staying with my dad to help take care of him and the house, to be close in case of an emergency and in case he were to ever fall. The plan is to stay with him until he passes away. Mind you, my father is incredibly in shape for being in his 80s and doesn't require any help or support other than some occasional company at this point. So we are anticipating at least 5 to 10 years left here with him. Plans was to stay upstairs with my dad, sharing living spaces and a kitchen. That's nice of them that they want to help the father out, but it doesn't seem like he needs much help at this point. So in my opinion, it seems like they're looking for a free place to stay, but nonetheless, at least they're keeping him company. Due to some family circumstances and clashes with my dad, we are having to make our own space downstairs if we will continue to live there. So y'all are already not getting along. This would include finishing the basement to have a bathroom. We already put this in, a kitchen, bedrooms for our future kiddos we are currently expecting, and a living room space. This would be 100% funded by us and our savings. We felt comfortable with this because my dad has mentioned casually that we would inherit the house. So we were confident that we would be investing into our future while still making things comfortable for our family and my dad at home. Always get a contract, even with family. However, lately he has mentioned that he wants my siblings to split the inheritance of the house equally, and also that no one might inherit the house due to my mom in her 60s, legally separated from my dad, having a clause in the settlement agreement that she would get the house upon his death. What are we talking about here? So you're telling me that you don't have a contract with your dad, or I'm assuming you don't have a contract with your dad. He's mentioned it to you casually, so you thought that you should take your savings and invest into this living space. But also note, in order for you to live comfortably there, you need to make those changes. And it sounds like you got into a tiff with your dad, so you kind of have to make those changes unless you want to move out. Other than that, now he's talking about he wants all the siblings to inherit it, so that should let you know maybe you should stop investing there. And also, there is a marital settlement agreement giving the house to the mother. So yeah, no, you're not getting the house no matter how casually dad is mentioning this to you. Let's keep going. In short, we are worried about putting all of our savings into my dad's house with no guaranteed way of getting it back, and or losing it upon mom getting the house, which she would sell, and we couldn't afford to buy it from her. I would rather keep it for a down payment on our own place if we get no return from staying here. Yeah, you're not getting your money back. I'm sorry, this is not looking good for OP and her husband. Dad has a will from 20 years ago that presumably willed everything to my mom as they were happily married at the time. I didn't know that will existed until about a month ago. As a major procrastinator, he is unlikely to make a new will anytime soon. So this just keeps getting worse. You got a marital settlement agreement giving the house to the mom, and you potentially got a will giving the house to the mom. The marital settlement agreement will likely overrule the will, but yeah, there's 2 documents that potentially give this house to the mother. And maybe you should ask for a copy of the will so that you can actually read it and see if it actually gives the house to the mom. But even if it doesn't, the marital settlement agreement likely overrules that will. We do not pay rent, but we do pay utilities in addition to groceries for my dad and cleaning out previously mentioned unfinished basement, 20 years of trash, junk, and bugs, and doing general chores and maintenance around the house. For example, fixing sprinklers, which came out of pocket as well. No contract exists between us and my dad. Come on now. It's just getting worse. Is there any reasonable way to get compensated for hundreds of hours spent cleaning the basement, working on the yard, and building additions to the house, especially when this would have had to be a paid service, cleaning basement, lawn work, construction of the unfinished basement, etc., if we did not do it? Could a new will potentially overrule what was written in the settlement with my mom and will the house to us, or a split with my siblings? Are there any legal grounds for us getting reimbursed through the eventual estate for the money we have put into the house? Example, unjust enrichment with a house gaining up to $100,000 plus in equity from our remodels. Are these people serious? Okay, y'all know what to do. Make sure to comment down below. I am a California attorney, so we are going to be discussing this in the context of California law. But remember, this is not legal advice. This is just my opinion based on my legal experience. So if you have a similar issue and you would like a consultation, make sure you are consulting an attorney in your state. Let's jump into this. This poster is absolutely delusional, in my opinion. Why would you think that you're going to get the house simply because the dad casually mentioned giving you the house? There's no contract, there's no will, there's nothing actually gifting you the house. So despite what the father is saying, you already got in an argument with him and he kicked you out of the top of the house down into the basement. You yourself said that in order for you to live there, you would have to fix up the basement. So you're making that place comfortable for yourself. You don't pay rent, you pay utilities, which you would have had to pay if you lived somewhere else. The fact that you're fixing up the place in order for you to live there kind of defeats that unjust enrichment argument, because you're putting money into there to live there when you can just take that money and either go pay rent somewhere, just live in the basement, when the bedroom that's already finished. You do not have to actually put in on the house. And from what I'm reading, it seems like you guys chose to fix it up so that it would be comfortable for you. It doesn't sound like the dad told you to fix it up. You were at the top of the house. You had no intention on fixing up that house when you moved in. You just kind of got booted downstairs and decided to fix it up. And now you're saying that there's some type of unjust enrichment. I don't think that applies. In this situation, you would have to prove a quasi-contract, which means like your dad said, hey, if you guys fix this up, I'm going to will the house to you. Here's the will. And then all of a sudden, after you finish the work, he then takes the will away and goes, running off and saying, okay, ha ha ha, you're not getting it. I now have all this equity. I'm going to sell it and not give you any money. That's not the case here. You guys are fixing it up so it is comfortable for you. Your dad has told you that he's going to give it to you. Your dad has told you that he is going to give it to all of the siblings. So again, there's no reasonable expectation that you guys have a quasi-contract. And in addition to that, you know that there's a marital settlement agreement giving the house to the mom, which it sounds like they bought that house during the marriage, so she would be entitled to a split for that. And that was a part of their divorce negotiations, was that she would get the house once the dad passes away. You are not going to be able to get that house. And again, with the will, even if it gifts the house to the mom or even to the kids or a portion of it to the kids, that marital settlement agreement is going to override that will, even if it says that it's going to give part of it to the kids. It's done at a later time. That house was probably their community property. And generally, a marital settlement agreement says, hey, this overrides the will, but you should also change your will to make sure that we don't have any conflicts over this in the future. I really don't think the poster has a reasonable expectation to be reimbursed for putting their money into this house. You're literally doing it so that you can be comfortable there. And the dad never said that he was going to pay you. He suggested that he might give the house to you, but he also suggested a bunch of other things to let you know that you are not getting the house. But maybe the poster should go and talk to an attorney in their area. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. If you've made it this far and you haven't hit the like button, please do, and subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out this video where this woman refused to share custody with her ex after he abandoned the child for 7 years.